You will hear about the African Union. Yes, it exists. But what is the effect of the African Union in reality? We cannot talk about integration in the theme and not talk about the African Union. Because it is this organization that should unite us, create real integration. But we regret to see these wars that persist on the African continent, killing millions of young people. And that this organization, which has heads of state, with armies, is unable to organize itself to support certain countries. The Union is not just a word. The Union is a symbol. And we, the youth, should learn a lesson from this situation to unite, to make integration a reality. I was unpleasantly surprised when Ethiopia, which hosts the headquarters of the African Union, was experiencing a conflict. And when I saw the Prime Minister put on a military uniform and announce the closure of the university in Addis Ababa to face the threat. I did not see any action from the African Union to protect these headquarters. Most Western states saw Addis Ababa falling, packing up and leaving. Ethiopia fought, found an internal solution, and is living more or less in peace today. The children of Congo have been dying for years. Several other conflicts, such as in Sudan, exist on the continent. We would have liked to see the African Union generate the forces and all the necessary strategies to support these states so they can regain peace. For nearly 10 years, the Sahel has been the theater of international terrorism. But we see no support from these organizations to find a solution to this problem.
They enjoy saying it every year in their economic surveys. Burkina Faso is the poorest country, Mali is the poorest country, Niger is the poorest country. We are ranked among the last. Very well, if we are as poor as they say, but when the time came to take responsibility, we asked these masters to leave. Why don't they want to leave? When we take the case of Niger, for over 40 years, some countries have been exploiting uranium to produce energy for themselves. From Ottawa to Paris, the streets are lit up. That's the light. But in Niger, it's darkness that is served to us. When you go to our states, our lands are riddled with holes, everywhere in search of precious metals like gold, but often there isn't even the slightest accessible road to reach the areas where they exploit gold, let alone some basic social services. That's why we decided to revolt and take the destiny of our countries into our own hands. There are many other examples. But when we decided to do so, well, we were approached by some armchair slaves to deliver the message of their master, because they had created this kind of polymer chain that rises to the head of our states to serve them. And we came to break the chain. And it's inconceivable for them. They approached us and asked us to fall in line, to become part of the elite that must lead Africa. Because they have a trained and conditioned elite that they must follow, who are embedded in that chain. We refused to fall in line with them. And from then on, hostilities began. They have infiltrated our areas with several mercenaries, trainers. Agents have descended into the Sahel, hoping to carry out barbaric, cowardly attacks against our populations, hoping to incite them to revolt. In addition to these on-the-ground attacks, communication attacks, manipulation, and disinformation are rampant in their ranks. But the people of the Sahel have understood, and never again will they be manipulated. They know where they come from, they know what they are doing, and they know where they are going. We will no longer allow this. People are awake and fighting today, not for ourselves, but for future generations. And thank you all for the fight that is being waged. This never makes us cry. We will not tremble. We will face it. We will fight for true independence, for our freedom. Because to scare the people of AES, these individuals only have 3 terms in their mouths: democracy, freedom, human rights. Of course, their local lackeys are only elected in a democratic, free and transparent process, according to them, their values. What could be more normal? That they want to impose this on us, because they are the ones who set the rules. Very well, we have decided to take responsibility for ourselves. That's why on July 26, 2023, when Niger decided to turn the page, the armchair slaves and their masters got on their high horses. They put their local lackeys forward and decided to wage a war against the Nigerian people. So we said, anyone who dares to attack Niger will face us, because we will wage a relentless war to the last drop of blood against anyone who dares to attack our states. This statement, this decision we made yesterday is relevant today and will be relevant tomorrow and forever.
You are ambassadors here, representing your country in the beautiful nation of Niger. Your role is important. Today, because of the ongoing and devastating war, the imperialistic forces have tried to tear our unified and strong society apart, completely and utterly annihilate us, and make sure that we can never lift our heads again and are forced to submit forever. However, the effect that they are expecting or hoping for will, unfortunately, never come to pass, because the required conditions and circumstances simply do not exist. Because instead this war has come to bond us, unite us, and more than ever, we remain standing. And we tell them that we will never cry and we will never kneel before anyone again, no matter what happens in any situation. This war that has been imposed on us has united us. It is in this war that AES was born. AES will change the history of Africa, will change the history of the world. You here are indeed the privileged witnesses of all the harm these people do to our populations. Since July 26th until today, you have experienced the sufferings and hardships inflicted on the Nigerian people in particular, and all the peoples of the US through inhumane sanctions. But it brought us even closer together and helped us understand why we must fight and support each other in this journey. And that's the most important thing. I want to congratulate you, those of you who are not in the country, who are far away. And today, due to social media, which has both positive and negative aspects in our lives, in various ways, I can truly imagine how much your suffering must really be to have to imagine. What can reality be? What's a lie? You hear all kinds of news. You suffer more than those in the country. But I think that, with God's will, this evening we have a few minutes. We will have, in any case, exchanged freely on many themes, and also, and especially any grievances you may have, because these are the same realities that we now share with our brothers in Niger. So, be thanked once again, because despite being away from the motherland, you have always indeed significantly contributed, and truly through all of you in the diaspora, to the Patriotic Support Fund. To continue giving a boost to the brave and tirelessly fighting forces who battle day and night and relentlessly on the ground. The entire homeland thanks you for these gestures you make day and night, and appreciation. When I carefully listened to what you were saying, I came to the realization that you had a complete and thorough understanding of the entire maneuver. There were no complaints, there were no concerns raised. This shows that you truly understand the essence of the struggle. Thank you again. Thank you to those who are spreading this message. Thank you for being by our side, because that is the fuel we need. The courage we need to move forward is what you are giving us here. You understand the situation. There is no reason to get discouraged, to get tired, or to hang our heads. We will move forward. I will therefore make it my duty to keep you updated on the news from the country.
But before I continue my remarks, I would like us to take a minute to pray for the repose of our comrades who have gone before us. Thank you. Education stakeholders, I wanted to take a moment this morning to thank you and congratulate you all from the bottom of my heart. Congratulations for your courage. Congratulations for your selflessness. Congratulations on your resilience. Because in the face of the security situation that the country has been experiencing for several years, you are among the most resilient actors of our nation. From the most remote areas under terrorist control. We receive reports from our fighters who inform us that very often the only state actors they encounter in these areas are either teachers or quite frequently health sector workers. Thank you for this resilience and unwavering determination. The role of the teacher is indeed a truly sacred duty. The role of the teacher is very complex. You may not realize it, but I am going to explain why and entrust you with new missions. Your role as a teacher is indeed very complex, in the sense that you must impart knowledge to the younger ones and educate them. Remember that a nation that indeed fails to educate its youth is truly doomed to disappear. This nation will never know peace, absolutely. Your role is very complex, because in addition to imparting knowledge, you must educate the children. You will have to be their parents. You must teach them good manners, what is right and what is wrong. You will need to instill the values of our society in them. I insisted, through the Minister of Education, that you visit the museum to reconnect with our cultural values. This is very important for you. And so we have values on which Burkina relies. Integrity, honesty. You must instill these values in the young people you mentor. At the same time, you become their parents. In addition to that, I wish for patriotic values to be instilled in the younger generation. Today, more than ever, our nation is facing difficulties it has never known in its history. And to overcome, we need to have patriots, citizens of tomorrow. And to have these citizens, these patriots, the role now falls to you. Train pioneers. Teach them to love their homeland. Teach them to have confidence in themselves. Teach them to love their neighbors. Teach them to live as Burkinabe. This mission now helps you to evolve. Teach them everything you can so that they become very good citizens of tomorrow and ensure the succession.
Comrades, I would like us to give thanks to God who has shown us this day and who has allowed us to gather here. Let us pay homage to our FDS and our valiant VDP who are fighting on the front lines. And it is thanks to them that we can gather here to commune. Let us also pay homage to you, those who have been nicknamed the Watchmen. And you who watch over this transition, you who watch over the path we have traced, thank you very much. We cannot make a revolution without communicating. Some will say that we should not talk too much, but when we do not talk, manipulation takes over the field. Understand something. The father of the revolution communicated a lot. I am speaking here of Thomas Sankara. In one of his speeches, he told you this: imperialism is a bad student because when it is chased out of the classroom, it comes back. It always comes back. And I remember that in his address to his peers in ECOWAS, he said that to cut the umbilical cord that binds us to imperialism, you would not look for a state magician with clever fingers, a well-sharpened scissor to cut this cord. But rather, you would need a robust lumberjack with a well-sharpened axe to give a sharp blow and cut the cord. That says it all. It is time for Africans to stop pitying themselves, to stop moping, to stop lamenting. You have to fight. It will not come from heaven alone. You have to fight first, and God will help you. I am not a politician, and I don't beat around the bush. I am a soldier, and I prefer to tell you the truth. Everyone is free to take it or leave it. Everyone drives their car, everyone lives well. We eat in the morning, we eat in the afternoon and evening, and we do whatever we want to do. We are free to speak, to say what we want. This is democracy. This is the law. That's all. That's all we know in Ouagadougou. But go and see them, the children who are skin and bones. Go see those who are starving. Go see those women who can no longer breastfeed because they have nothing left in their breasts. Go see them. Let's not pretend. If our journalists don't have the courage to go out in the field and bring back these images, it's because we want to whitewash Burkina's image. I'm telling you, it's false. It exists. When I tell you about people who eat grass, those who want to contest, I will take them to see it continues. It hasn't even stopped because we have managed to supply some villages, but others not yet. We are still on the way. No civilian can even support us with trucks, so we can show solidarity with these populations. What kind of integrity is this? What is integrity, Burkina Faso? What is it? This lack of support has deeply unsettled and revolted us. Until we truly address the core issues plaguing this country, we will remain in a state of unrest and discontent. For the moment, we've managed to secure some trucks in the army and have been using our own means to transport supplies. However, this hasn't really added much to the support for the starving populations. And even in doing this, there's been a distinct lack of empathy. The citizens were aware of the situation, but they've remained on the sidelines. This is to say that solidarity has disappeared in Burkina. Have pity for the people, have pity for the youth, have pity for the children. What have these villagers done so that when the sun sets, they find themselves in caves and under trees? They leave village after village, and in the morning they come back to see if everything is okay before returning. They sleep in the bush. They cannot sleep in their homes. We don't tell you these truths. This is the reality of Burkina. We only see our cities. We are responsible for what happens to us, and we will be fully responsible for what will follow, whether it is good or bad. It will depend on our behavior in the future. Everyone gives their best. And I think we can get there. I am optimistic. I have faith. And it will happen.
For this particular season, it must be stated that these tractors will be utilized in order to plow the land without any charge. We initiated 2 significant operations in the previous year, namely the agro-pastoral offensive and the presidential initiative for achieving food self-sufficiency. The ministry had already started a process of providing free plowing services for a total of 64,000 hectares in all regions. In addition to that, we have decided to acquire around 1,000 tractors. For this season, it must be said that these tractors will be used to plow the land for free for this upcoming rainy season. The goal is to truly increase and achieve food self-sufficiency. What may need to be clarified is to urge the youth to quickly clear the fields, as there are focal points in each province appointed by the governor, in addition to assigning missions at the regional level. Contact us when you have large areas that require attention. Otherwise, you should join a cooperative to have large areas, and these tractors are here to plow the fields for free this year.
The support through improved seeds and subsidized fertilizer that is also available.
Comrades, good morning. Today is the 1st of April, which marks the beginning of the second quarter of the year 2025, and of course the end of the first quarter. And I assume that all the office heads and department heads have been able to review the first quarter and also set goals for the second quarter. In any case, I think the idea is to sacrifice oneself, to always give the best of oneself for the happiness of our people, and so that our homeland can shine. So I invite everyone to set new goals for the second quarter, to give the best of themselves, both in service and in everyday life, so that our homeland can continue to shine. As for the various fighting forces on the ground, I want to pay tribute to them here for the exceptional work that has been done throughout the past quarter. We have been able to make significant progress on the ground. We have been able to reclaim areas that were under terrorist control 4 or 5 years ago. We have therefore been able to liberate these areas. Other areas are currently in a phase of consolidation, which is a very significant progress, but also calls on the other forces in these relatively calm zones to remain vigilant and on constant alert, because the treachery of the enemy means that when we are in a relative calm and let our guard down, we can often take hits. So it is an invitation to all those in a position of relative security to always remain vigilant and not be caught off guard. And to the other forces living for the nation, it is an invitation to all workers to redouble their efforts so that the year 2025 is crowned with success at all levels. And as for the general public, I would invite people to be vigilant, because today, more than ever, the stateless, the enemies of the nation, are very active, and you will be able to see it. On the Lagoon side, they have been gathering for several days. Their objective is to make Burkina Faso relive the events of '87. They forget that times have changed, and we are on high alert, waiting for them, their mercenaries and their actions. And I want to say it, we will be ruthless. They can continue to dream, but Burkina will move forward. And that's why since the last time in Zinyara, I have been inviting everyone to be very vigilant, not to give in to manipulation. As you can, in manipulation, as you can see, their actions boil down to disinformation, manipulation, subversion. Everyone must therefore remain calm with the objective in mind to avoid being misled. Because we will also be unsympathetic towards those who allow themselves to be manipulated. Only those who are greedy, those who want everything for themselves, can be manipulated by these stateless individuals. Let's stay focused, and if we need to say it loud and clear here, we are not in a democracy. We are indeed in a progressive, popular revolution. Everyone needs to understand that. And it's even more surprising that those who are supposed to be intellectuals, who have been educated, can imagine that a country can develop in democracy. That's false. Let them name a single country that has developed in democracy. It's not possible. Democracy is only the outcome. We inevitably go through a revolution, and we are indeed in a revolution. For those who hadn't understood, we say it again loud and clear. Everyone needs to incorporate this and our role to communicate, explain, and make people understand what our revolution is. we will continue to play it. So, this question of democracy or libertinism, of action or expression, has no place. I said it once. As much as you think you are free to speak and act, the other is also free to speak and act. And there, we end up with a society of disorder. And as it happens, it coincides well with us being in the midst of celebrating patriotic days. The theme, by the way, is order and discipline. We do not make a revolution in disorder. It's impossible. In order, we are going to establish order and discipline so that we can progress. Because social, economic, political, and ideological reforms need order and discipline. And everyone has a role to play in this. So, embrace the revolution. Because many people, for the past 2 years now, have boarded the ship out of opportunism. We are riding giant waves. We are in the storm. We are facing very strong headwinds. And those people, they will never be able to stay in the boat. Gradually, they will fall into the water and you will see them. But we will continue because our goal is to find calm waters and be able to navigate. When we leave the storm for the calm waters, I think we will surf without any problem. So, invite everyone to be vigilant because the enemy has recruited and is still recruiting traitors. Just a few days ago, traitors were arrested. Traitors, not more than a few days ago, traitors were arrested. And who do I call traitors? It's those who are among us, who continue to work, to be agents for embassies of imperialist countries established in Burkina Faso. Some have been arrested and we will continue to unmask others. They are there in our administration. They are there in civil society organizations. They are there in political organizations. And they manipulate others to lead them down paths, in any case, contrary to the progress of our homeland. And it is when we arrest them that we realize they are indeed agents of these countries, of the embassies of these imperialist countries also established in Burkina. Let's remain vigilant, Muti, because our revolution, Buti, does not please many people. These local lackeys and these sub-prefects who are there, executing the orders of their master, believing they can put an end to our revolution, should understand that we have taken all the measures. And I say it once again, we will be ruthless and without remorse towards those who think they can stand in the way of the development of our homeland. We will continue our revolution. We will develop our infrastructure, whether in health, education, or road infrastructure. We will develop our industry, transform what we want, and consume what we have transformed. Burkina will shine. Despite those who are still nostalgic for the year 87, I repeat. So stay focused, stay vigilant, and set your paths for the coming quarter and the rest of the year. And we will therefore remain on this path of victory. We will continue the fight on the ground to reclaim our various areas. And I can assure you that the progress made, the territories reclaimed in this first quarter are strategic. And it has allowed us to establish ourselves up to the border. And that is very remarkable. We will therefore continue in this direction, zone by zone, step by step, to clean the territory and reclaim the entirety of our country. Thank you all. Have a good week and good luck for the quarter that is starting. Be those who also convey our ideology among the masses. Thank you. Have a very good day, everyone, and may God bless our dear homeland. The homeland or death, we shall overcome. There are many things to do. There are challenges awaiting you. Don't focus on your age. Don't just see that ambition may not be as high as you imagine, but you must aim very far.